Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you top 10 best value for money designer handbags. Now this is very relative because none of the designer handbags really represent the best value for money. Generally these things cost quite a lot still, and you can think of probably a lot of different ways to spend this sort of money. But when we are talking designer handbags, bearing in mind that these bags cost a bit anyway, then these 10 bags I think are better value for money than most out there on the market. So I've decided on these 10 bags based on two major factors. One is, what can you get for that amount of money out on the market in terms of luxury handbags? Is there something better value for money, or does this represent a pretty good value for money considering a lot of other designer handbags on the market of similar function and aesthetics and quality cost a lot more? So that is the first factor. The second factor I've considered is the versatility. So can you carry these bags on different occasions? Can you carry them during the day, during the night? Because cost per wear is key when you're considering value for money. The more occasions that you can carry these bags to, the lower your cost of wear would be. So the more you get to use the bag, the lower the cost really relatively that you're paying for the bag. So in no particular order, let's get started with the very first one. Oh, before we get started with the list, if you're new here and you love these sorts of videos to do with luxury and fashion, I'd love it if you consider subscribing to my channel. It just takes 1 second. Press the red button down below. I'd really appreciate it. So with that out of the way, let's get into the very first bag on the list. So my first pick is the Louis Vuitton Alma bag in the BB size, but specifically in the Epi leather range. So the Louis Vuitton Alma bag is one of their iconic handbag designs, and their canvas versions are very popular. So they do this Alma bag in the monogram canvas as well as the damier ebene canvas. And although I absolutely love the canvas versions as well, the reason why I say the Epi leather version represents the best value for money is because the price difference between the canvas versions and the Epi leather version is not very much. So Louis Vuitton canvas is pretty much just coated fabric, and the canvas Alma BBs cost close to 2,000 Australian dollars. At the moment they retail for 1,980 Australian dollars and 1,320 US dollars, whereas the Epi leather version, which is full leather with microfiber lining with all its beauty, is literally only $300 more than the canvas version. So this particular one goes for 2,360 Australian dollars or 1,620 US dollars. I feel like for the price difference, which is just a couple of $100s, I'd much rather go for a full leather bag. Sure, the canvas version still have the leather trims on the bottom, the handles and the strap, but the majority of the bag is still coated fabric. And the other thing that I really love about the Epi leather version is that it is much more understated and it's just not as common. People who are interested in designer bags will recognize this as Epi leather from Louis Vuitton instantly, but people that aren't into designer handbags won't even really recognize this bag as a Louis Vuitton bag. And I really love subtle luxury. And also the monogram and the damier ebene Alma BBs you see a lot on the street, and they are more or less common now. Whereas the Epi Alma, you just don't see them as often on the streets. And one might argue that it's just because it is less popular, but I think it is because it just has less publicity. On social media, magazines and that, you always see monogram Alma bags or monogram other bags, but you often don't really see the Epi leather bags. So I'd say maybe it's just less exposed and less known to the general public. But if you ask me, I'd pick the Epi leather version over the canvas versions any day. And can I just say, this bag is so versatile. You can use it as a top handle bag, which looks really elegant, so you can detach this shoulder strap and use it as an elegant top handle bag. You can use it on the crook of your arm because the handle drop is quite generous. And you can also dress it down and make it look really casual and wear it as a shoulder bag or a crossbody bag. So the versatility is definitely there as well with this bag. The next bag on the list will come as no surprise to anyone who watches my videos regularly, and it is the YSL Mini Lou Camera bag, and I've raved about this bag on multiple occasions. So let's just get this one out of the way because I'm sure a lot of you already expected this. Pretty much this one costs around the $1,000 US mark, and at the moment retails for 1,500 Australian dollars. And YSL is actually sold on a lot of online retailers such as Farfetch, My Teresa, and a lot of the times you can get 10-15% off coupon codes and they apply to YSL bags. So you can often purchase these bags for under 1,000 US dollars or under 1,500 Australian dollars. And for a designer bag, which is full leather, can you see this is a full leather handbag with this beautiful durable grained leather. I've had this bag for about 6 months now and used it so consistently, but it looks brand spanking new still. It also has a lot of luxurious features such as complete full leather lining on the inside and the beautiful chain and also back pocket. I mean, for such a functional bag that's as beautiful as this, that is a fabulous price point in my opinion. And it also has great versatility. You can wear this during the day, dressed down with some jeans and a t-shirt, but it also makes a fabulous evening bag because it is small enough, and because of the beautiful chain, it does look quite dressy when you wear it with a dress or something a lot more formal. So on versatility and the price, this one is definitely a winner. While we're on the subject of YSL and also talking about predictable bags on this list, if you're a regular watcher of my videos, let's get this one out of the way. So the next on the list is the YSL Uptown Pouch. Now, technically, this is not a handbag, this is a small leather good, but I don't think anyone really uses this as a small leather good. It does look a lot more like a handheld clutch that you would use as a small bag, and it certainly has enough of a presence to be carried as a bag. Some pouches and small leather goods don't look really good as bags, but the Uptown Pouch does look really elegant when you use it as a handheld clutch. And this one retails for 650 Australian dollars at the moment, or 475 US dollars, which is an amazing price point for something that you can carry out with a really beautiful dress. But I don't see why you wouldn't be able to carry this as a day bag as well. If you are pretty minimal with what you carry around, this can certainly still fit a phone, your keys, and a lip balm. So that is all I would need to carry, unless I'm going to work, or unless I need to carry a lot more with me for a particular reason. I've actually done an unboxing video for this one. In that video, I show you exactly how much you can fit in the pouch. I show you the modeling shots, and also I show you how I use a chain tucked under the envelope flap there to use it as a shoulder bag and make it into a hands-free bag. So if you are interested in this clutch, definitely check that video. I'll leave a link to that video on screen and also in the description bar below. My next pick is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire. Now, I borrowed this from my mum. This is actually hers, but I borrowed it to do this video. I think on price point alone, this bag just deserves to be on this list. I'm not sure whether this is also technically a small leather good or if this classifies as a small bag, but nonetheless, I'm sure a lot of people use this as a small handbag. And this one, when my mum picked it up, was around 570 Australian dollars, but I was researching the current price of it and now it retails for 810 Australian dollars or 525 US dollars. What a price jump over the years. Nonetheless, I still think this one is a very good value for money bag because first of all, you can use it for so many different purposes. So you can definitely use it as a day bag where you carry your essentials with you. But surprisingly, this one does fit quite a bit, a lot more than some of the other clutches on the market. So it does look quite small, but I can say you can fit quite a bit in there. Definitely your essentials and a bit more. And you can also use this as a pouch to go inside of your bag. So if you are going to work and you have a massive day bag and you're planning to head out for the evening for dinner or drinks, then you can just put all your essentials in here and take it out as an evening bag. So during the day, it can be a pouch inside of your bigger bag, but in the evening, it can transform into a bag. And you can definitely change up the look of the whole bag by changing the strap on it. So this strap is actually detachable and you can purchase a gold chain to make this bag look a lot more dressy. And it's really easy to find those gold chains on eBay and Etsy these days. So at this price point, with that amount of versatility, I definitely think that this is a very good value for money bag. The next bag on this list I don't actually own, but I'm very interested to look into it. And it is the Hermes Herbag. Now the price point is a little bit higher on this bag, so it retails for close to 4,000 Australian dollars. It was just under the last time I checked in store and tried one on, and it is a mainly canvas bag with a leather flap closure and a leather shoulder strap. I know $4,000 is still a lot of money for a handbag that is mainly canvas. When you compare that price to most of the other Hermes handbags, that's still a very reasonable price point because Hermes bags definitely have the best craftsmanship in my opinion. So with the Herbag, you can actually add a piece of Hermes handbag in your collection without having to spend close to $10,000 or even over $10,000. Excluding their famous elusive bags such as the Birkin Kelly and the Constance, even all of their other bags cost close to $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, whereas the Herbag does look quite similar to the Kelly and it does still have really nice features to it, but you can actually pick that bag up for the price of most of the other designer handbags. And that bag is very functional. When I tried it on in the store, it is very comfortable to wear and you can definitely use that as an everyday bag, but I think it also makes for a very good travel bag for sightseeing or even as a carry-on handbag because it does close securely, so you don't have to worry about the security, pickpockets, or dropping or losing things. And thanks to the shoulder strap, you can just wear a crossbody and be hands-free. We're exactly halfway now, so my sixth pick is the Louis Vuitton Néonoé bag. This is one of my very favorite bags. It is not the cheapest bag. It does retail for 2,300 Australian dollars at the moment and 1,650 US dollars at the moment. But it does look really stylish in my opinion. It is still a reasonable price for a designer handbag, and I just like the fact that it is not as common as the Speedys and Neverfulls, but still looks very quintessentially Louis Vuitton. And I just love the fact that the leather portions are very carefree, and that's why I chose the black leather strap. They do come in different colors that are lighter, but I just wanted a very carefree bag because this is more a day bag that I want to use on a daily basis. So in my opinion, this design is a lot more sophisticated than the Speedys and the Neverfulls, and the price point of this handbag is just a couple of $100s more than a Speedy, really. And in my opinion, you do get a lot of extra features with those couple of $100s. So first of all, the design is a lot more interesting. It is a really nicely made bucket bag, and if you have a look on the inside, you do get, I've got some bag organizers in there, but you do have the microfiber lining instead of just the plain fabric lining like the Speedy and the Neverfull. And the strap has two settings, so you can use it as a shorter bag, and you can make it longer and use it as crossbody bag. So I definitely think that this one has really nice features, and it does look a lot more luxurious than those other alternative bags at a similar price point that you can get from Louis Vuitton that is in the monogram canvas. Now this may seem a little bit contradictory to what I was just saying with the Néonoé, but the next on my list is in fact the Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. Mine is in the size 30 in the Damier Ebene canvas. It does come in all three canvases, and it used to come in the Epi leather, the vintage ones, and now it also comes in the empreinte leather. The reason why I think this one deserves a place on this list of best value for money bags is because of its classic timeless status. So when you think about the classic timeless designs of designer handbags that have been around for a really long time, that have stood the test of time, that have always been in style and never really gone out of fashion for a really long time, you think of bags such as the Hermes Birkin bag or the Kelly bag, Chanel classic flaps, and a lot of people include in that sort of a list the Speedy from Louis Vuitton as well. And all the other handbags with this amount of classic and timeless status usually cost a whole lot more than this particular bag. I mean, the Hermes Birkins and Kellys are over $10,000. The Chanel classic flaps are getting close to 10,000 Australian dollars, which is crazy. But the Louis Vuitton Speedy, I mean, yes, it does cost a lot more than what they used to back in the day. I picked mine up for 825 Australian dollars about 8 years ago, I think. And now it does retail for about 1,600 Australian dollars. So yes, over the last few years, it has seen some price increases. But regardless, that's still an amazing price point for something that is this timeless, this durable. I mean, this bag is 8 years old. How good does it still look? It still looks really new in my opinion. I've used this a ton as well. It is so weatherproof in this particular canvas material. And Louis Vuitton canvases actually go with everything. I mean, this Damier Ebene pattern, this color, I don't know what it is about this, but it does go with any color scheme that I wear. So it can go with black. And I never used to think black and brown really went until I started using this bag all the time, and this brown bag surprisingly goes with black really well. It obviously goes well with white outfits, but any of the other colored outfits as well, like pink, red, anything you name it, it goes with the outfit. So yeah, definitely a really good handbag to purchase that is still at a reasonable price, that will never go out of fashion. The next bag I also don't own in my collection, and it is the YSL tote bag. I have tried it on and handled it in the store before, and it is a very nice tote bag, and I think it's got an amazing price point. It does come in at less than $1,000 US, so at the moment it retails for $995 US and about 1,400 Australian dollars. For a designer handbag that is full leather, so that bag is actually a leather handbag, I think that is an amazing price point, and I just love the simple aesthetics of it. And it does also come with an internal pouch, which is really handy, so you can keep money or little items that you want to keep secure inside of the pouch as well. And when you compare it to a lot of the other designer tote bags that are out on the market these days, such as the Neverfull from Louis Vuitton, I mean, this one is mainly canvas with just some bits of leather, but this one retails for over 2,000 Australian dollars at the moment. And the Goyard bags cost close to 2,500 Australian dollars. And yeah, pretty much when you compare that bag to a lot of full leather designer tote bags on the market, the YSL tote bag, I think, is an amazing value for money. Also, they do a lot of amazing colors in that tote design, and they do some beautiful neutrals. So I definitely think that the YSL tote is a really good choice if you are looking for a larger bag that is at a really good price point for a designer tote. The last two bags on the list are actually from Chanel, and generally Chanel bags don't represent the best value for money because they are very, very, very pricey, especially with all their crazy price increases. But I picked two designs that I think still are pretty good value for money, considering that they are Chanel handbags. The first out of the two is none other than the mini flap in their classic design. So the mini flaps, they do in two different sort of sizes or shapes. So one is this square mini, and the other size they do is in the rectangular shape. They do fit similar amounts. Some people find that the rectangular fits a little bit more, but in my case, I used to own a rectangular mini and I found both of them fit similar amounts. The reason why I say this is a good value for money bag is because the mini flaps still have most of the features that a larger classic flap does have. So the larger sizes will be technically the actual classic flaps, like the medium and the jumbo, but the mini flap does cost about half of what a large or a jumbo would cost. So the square mini at the moment costs 4,500 Australian dollars and sort of just over 3,000 US dollars. And I know that's an extortionate amount of money for such a small handbag, but their larger sizes, like the medium is not even that much bigger than the mini, but the medium costs something like 8,700 Australian dollars, which is pretty much double the price of this. And the jumbo is close to 10,000 Australian dollars at the moment. So if you compare it that way, you still get the look of the classic flap and most of the features. So I mean, it is full leather with the classic back pocket that is very signature to the whole classic range from Chanel, and it is completely fully leather lined on the inside. It doesn't have the double flap, which makes the bag classic for Chanel bags, but such a small bag doesn't really need a second flap. It will probably just eat up more space, so you won't be able to fit as much. So other than the absence of the second flap on the inside, this still has the CC tone lock and the leather metal interwoven chain and all the beautiful features of a Chanel classic flap, but at half of the cost of the other classic sizes. And I've actually done a whole dedicated video going over all the different sizes and my recommendations on how to choose your Chanel classic flap. So I'll leave that video linked on screen and down below as well. So if you are interested in finding out more about the different sizes that the classic flaps come in, do check out that video. And the very last one on this list is the Chanel Coco handle bag. I've also done a whole dedicated review video on this bag, and in that video I just rave on about why I think this is the best value for money Chanel handbags in a larger size. So if you're interested, I'll also leave that video link down below. This one comes in 3 different sizes. This is the in-between size, so there's a mini size which is a lot smaller than this, which is very popular these days because mini bags are really in at the moment, and then there is a larger size as well, which is just too big on my frame. And this is that medium size, but I think they technically call this small. I couldn't really find that out from the Chanel website. This one just was called the Coco handle bag, whereas the larger one was called the larger Coco handle bag and the mini was mini, so this must be the medium size. This one I picked up about 3 years ago when they used to still use exotic leather, and this has the lizard handle, but Chanel discontinued the use of exotic materials, so now they only have versions where, you know, it is lizard embossed leather handle, or they just have the plain calf leather handle. So at the time that I picked this up, it was 5,200 Australian dollars, and that is when the jumbo flap, which is a very, very similar size to this one, was about 8,000 Australian dollars. The reason why I think this is an amazing value for money bag is because, again, it's got mostly all the classic features and more. I mean, it's also got a top handle. I love a top handle on a bag, but at a much lower price, and the craftsmanship is there, the quality is still there, and it's got the full leather lining, because some of the Chanel seasonal bags that are not classic, they have fabric lining on the inside, but this one has full leather lining, although I think the newer versions only have the fabric lining. Nonetheless, for the amount of work that has gone into this bag and for the amount of features that you get, I mean, even look at the interior. You've got a zip pocket, another back zip pocket, 2 slip pockets, a lipstick pocket, which is very, very quintessentially Chanel as well. It's got a top handle as well as a detachable shoulder strap, and the very iconic back pocket and the CC turn lock. So it's got everything that a classic flap has, but at a much lower price point. Even now, of course, obviously without the exotic handle, it is about 5,500 Australian dollars, and now the jumbos are almost $10,000. So I feel like this one still represents really, really good value for money. Yes, it is an expensive handbag, but for a Chanel aesthetic with lots of features, I definitely think it is really money well spent. And I'd say this one has more versatility than the classic flaps that are comparable, because like I mentioned, it's got a top handle, so you can always grab it really easily. The shoulder strap, so you can actually use it as a shoulder bag. And I think this one transitions beautifully from day to evening as well, especially in this black color and with the gold hardware. I think it dresses up beautifully, and this size I really, really like, because even during the day you can carry quite enough in it, so you can carry a bit more than your bare minimum essentials, but in the evening it is not too large or too overwhelming to carry with a nice dress or a nice top and a skirt. So definitely amazing value for money in comparison to Chanel's other handbags. So these were my top picks. Let us know if you've got any other designer handbags that you think are really good value for money in the comments below. I love people sharing their opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching this video and spending some of your precious time with me, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys!